just waited for another. You know I'm the changer, the rearranger. I'm always a stranger. Hi, this is a lesson on I Am the Changer by Cotton Jones. If you want to see a full playthrough of this song, check the link in the description or in the eye icon. Here are the chords we're going to need for the song. F major 7 over C. The second chord you need is E minor over G. The next chord is E minor, which is just lift up that ring finger. And the next one is D minor 7. And it's okay if you get a little bit of that A string in it too, but try to avoid the low E. The next chord is the same chord but played only for the intro in a different place as a bar chord as well. And make sure all strings ring out, and you can mute the low E with your index finger. And finally we need just a simple C chord. Alright, so before we start, let's go over the song structure really quickly. So I'm just going to pull that up in front of you right now. You have an intro, okay, which has the chords F major 7, E minor over G, and the D minor 7 bar chord. And then you have a verse, which has the C, the F major 7, the E minor, and the D minor 7. And then you have a chorus, and then you have a chorus number 2, and then you have an outro. And the structure, it goes intro, verse, chorus number 2, and then outro. And I'm going to go into each one of those in depth. Alright, let's get started with the intro. First, I'm going to play it for you. So for the intro, you start on an F major 7 over C, and you play the A string, and then you go down, so, and then you go up, so, and then you have a little riff, so you have on the second fret of the D, and you pull off, and then you play the third fret of the A, and then you play the second fret of the D again, and then you pull off, so, and then you go third fret on the A, and then open A, and then finally you go to the third fret on the low E. So, and then you play the E minor over G chord. So you go on the E minor over G, you go down, up, and then you mute. So down, up, and then you end it with a down. And then you have another little riff to lead you back into the F major 7 over C. You play the third fret on the low E, and then you play the open A, and then you play the third fret on the A. And make sure when you're finishing that riff, you're already on the F major 7 chord. Don't do this where you still have to put down the chord, and the same thing goes for the other riff. See, as soon as I put down that third fret on the low E, I put down the rest of the chord. Okay? So this is the first variation on that. And you play this 4 times in a row. So and so on. And so on, okay? And then the second variation is when it's only different in the second riff. So instead of this, you're playing just a different note on that E minor over G. You're playing the 2nd fret on the D. So in full, it would be like this. Okay? And then finally you have a third variation, which is exactly the same as the second one, but when you're strumming the E minor over G, you just want to try to wiggle your middle finger to get some sort of vibrato to mimic what the electric guitar is doing. So you just want to keep wiggling that. And it's pretty hard on your finger, so it's going to take a little while to get used to. Okay? So you just play the first variation 4 times, and then the second variation, and then the first variation again, and then the third variation. And that's it for this part of the intro. After the third variation, it leads into that D minor 7, the bar chord, with a little riff. So and then it goes into the verse. So let's break that down. It goes that's the riff. It starts on the 3rd fret on the low E, and then you play the A string, open A string, and then the 3rd fret on the A string. And then you want to stop it quickly. You don't want to do, you just want to do, so you play it and then you release your finger right away. And do the same thing on the 5th string on the A. And then you play it again and slide up to 7. And then you play the 5 again, but with your index finger to get ready for that bar. So, and then you do, so up down on that D minor 7 bar chord. And then you do that again, but you don't finish up here. Instead you go, so you pull off from the 2nd fret of the D, and then the 3rd fret on the A to finish it off, going into the C chord of the verse. Alright, so let's get into the verse. First I'll play it. So, the verse, all the chords have the same strumming pattern except for that first C, which is coming in from the intro. So for that first C, you just play the 3rd fret on the A and then 1 down strum. So, and then you move into the F major 7. So after that first C, all the chords have the same strumming pattern, which is, so bass note of the chord, and then down strum, and then a quick down up. So then 2 downstrokes, and in between them you relax the chord so that you get a slight mute effect. So and this works well for the F major 7 because it's basically all the notes are covered by your fingers. But then you have an E minor, which if you relax it, you don't really get that mute. So now you can leave it just like that and it'll sound fine. Or you can get that mute by touching your pinky and your ring, or just your pinky, whatever is most comfortable, to the strings to mute them. So just like that. So it goes F major 7, E minor, D minor 7, C, and then F major 7, E minor, D minor 7, C again, and then you go into the chorus. Let me play it for you. So that's F major 7 was the first part of the verse again, okay? So the chorus starts off, it has the exact same strumming pattern as the verse for the first 2 chords, which are D minor 7 and then G, which I forgot actually to mention in the chords of the song. So it's just a plain old G, 3rd fret on the low E, 2nd fret on the A, and pinky's on the 3rd fret on the high E string. Okay. And then you play D minor 7 again, and then G again. So those have the exact same strumming pattern. Now, the second time around, when you're going from the G to the D minor 7, after those 2 strums, you want to do 3rd fret on the low E, open A, and then 3rd fret on the A, and you want to add that just to that bottom structure of the D minor 7. So G again. And then you want to do the exact same thing to lead into the F major 7, after which you're just playing the intro again for 4 times in a row. And on the 3rd time, you switch to the variation number 2. So let's pretend this is the 2nd time, and then I'll play variation 1 for the 2nd time, and then the 3rd time I'm going to play variation number 2. So and then variation number 1 again. And then after that, I'm just going to play the F major 7 again of the verse. So the 2nd time around, the verse does not have that C. It just goes straight from E minor over G to F major 7. Now for chorus number 2 on the chord sheet, and for the outro, everything is basically exactly the same. Chorus number 2 is the same. You just play it twice on that F major 7 to the E minor over G part. And then for the outro, instead of F major 7 to E minor over G, it's F major 7 to G. So that would be... So it's the exact same thing, but you're going to G instead of E minor, E minor over G, yeah. Okay, and then, after 3 times of doing that, you're switching basically again to the F major 7, to the E minor over G, however many times it's necessary to finish the song for you. So, like, to exhaust the lyrics and to do the outro, in which case you just want to fade it out. So you want to be going... You want to try to get your strums really quiet. Something like that. Okay? Alright, I hope that wasn't too confusing. If you have any songs that you really love that don't have guitar tutorials on YouTube, you can let me know in the comments and I'll try to do them. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, and I'm gonna try to do one video every week.